I think we're live. Okay, shit, should work. Okay, hello everyone. Making this little kind of podcast kind of thing. I don't know what it is really, but basically it's just my thoughts on Klaig's little post here. I thought that was pretty interesting. So basically, now the GMs and moderators, instead of making changes to the game, just directly instead ask the community what they think about the changes or potential changes coming to Flyff. And so I thought I'd make a response video to that. I thought that would be interesting. So you guys can hear my perspective on the things. And I would also love to hear your perspective on the subject. I think it's good if the community comes together and good intentions talk about Guild Siege, like don't attack each other, like be nice to each other. I mean, it's kind of a iffy topic, I agree, but we should be civilized about it at least. No personal attacks, not, oh, you're not skilled in Siege, or there's no such thing as skilled in Siege. Just talk about it more openly, I guess. And I guess it's more of a serious video rather than my old usual meme videos, I guess, but yeah, I guess it's a new one. So basically, Klaig starts off by saying, "Hello, Siegers," and basically introduces the idea that we're going to give him the perspective of statue hiding. And so, of course, in order to have your opinion valued in this topic, you have to say how often you siege, or what class do you siege, and you think it will benefit. I guess he's just trying to say that I kind of need the siegers, the active siegers' opinion on this, and I thought since I'm a kind of a POV channel mainly for that, I thought that I attract more siegers, and this could be a good way to reach out to the community. So yeah, I'll try out. You can just comment in the comments below on my video, and we can have a discussion there if you want, or you can just put it on the forums. Or the forums are kind of dead here, but I mean, still works. So you can just put it on a general Discord. Just don't get yourself muted by the mods. I know I get that sometimes because I speak a little bit too emotionally, but whatever. Okay, so the question here is statue and statue hiding, but in my opinion there's two other topics, and that is the stackable CS and the 70% Asil nerf, or well, it's 30% reduction, but basically if you Asil 1 million right now, you're gonna Asil 700k afterwards. So everyone understands that part. Okay, we're gonna start off by statues, and I have a little bit of note here so I don't miss anything. So some knowledge about it, some basic stuff. All classes can jump into the statues. Doesn't require anything special. You just jump right into it. If you're too fast for the statues, basically just click X so that you walk into them, sort of. You don't need any velocity or jump scrolls to get into them. There are 4 statues. They're numbered 1 to 4. Statue 4 is completely bugged, so you cannot go inside it. It's completely free. So if you want to spawn somewhere without anyone being in a statue, number 4 is basically free. They can't hide there. They're gonna die instantly. Statue 2 is only open from one angle, basically, so it's kind of bugged in itself, but it's also open from one specific angle. Some other interesting facts: Arcanists are able to deal damage using their AoE, as we all know. That's kind of a topic here. Rangers are able to shoot through the statues at specific angles. I don't think you knew that, but I guess I can have maybe a little bit of a GIF here showing it. But Rangers are basically able to penetrate, wink wink, their statues with arrows at specific angles. Not just openly, it could be like picky, not available, but if you shoot at specific angles, you can do that as well. Beepers are able to Asil through one of the statues at a specific angle, not prevention Asil. You're actually able to Asil through the statue at one specific spot. Blades and Knights are also able to hit through the statues if they get close enough, so they can like hit with their blade and whatever at specific angles if they get close enough to the statues. But that's sort of the thing. So it's basically like a defense mechanism, as I call it. You can hide in there, but you're not completely safe. Rangers can shoot you through there without any problems, especially if you camp in there. Rangers is the best option, or you can have a BP just jump straight into it. You won't see it coming in, because the game is delayed, so you won't actually see it coming. You're dead before it even reaches the ground, basically. So you're not really, unless you have like 5 Arcanists there, and they're all really good equipped, you're not gonna be safe in a statue. Let me get that one clear. So those are the facts. So what are my opinion on it? I think statue jumping, since I kind of introduced the idea of using it as a defense mechanism. Basically, I was one of the first ones I wasn't the first one to realize that you could jump into a statue by clicking X. I took that one from Namnam and Namnam Luia. If you Google that name or YouTube that name, actually, you will find his YouTube channel, Old German Player. Was, in my opinion, the best BP 2012 and 2013. He was one of the first ones that I saw actually jumped into a statue clicking X. So I thought that was a pretty cool trick. So we all did it and it was really cool. Then later, throughout the years, I realized that now I'm not one of the fastest BPs anymore. So I had to come up with a plan to kind of play defensively around faster BPs. So I realized that jumping from one statue to another, it got very popular in my comeback video. If you watches my channel, or if this is the first time you actually see this video, see my channel. And I basically jump in between statues to hide from the faster BPs. And some people say that, it should be illegal, it should be blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, it's like, it helps the slower BP. Nowadays, I am one of the fastest one because I fixed some gear that I lost at that time, and I fixed the blessings. So now I'm one of the fastest BPs, but still, I think that they should be there. Like, if a player is able to jump in between statues as a little bit of a skill. Like I know that most people, when they hear skill in Siege, they're like, I don't really believe in that. But I mean, I like to look at it as like bench press. I mean, bench press is basically like I like to do that on the free time. When you look at bench press, it's just basically douchebags just lifting a barbell above the chest. But in reality, it takes up to 48 techniques just for the basic learning if you want to actually compete in bench press. So some things that look very simple they can appear very simple are actually very complex. So the BP class, for example, I could make a fucking 24-hour documentary about that shit, and no one wants to hear that. Trust me, no one wants to hear that. I guess apart from Keenan, I think Keenan and I could talk hours about shit on Discord. Keenan is Kuton, by the way, if you want to Google or YouTube that name and see his channel. But anyways, so I believe that statue jumping is good for BPs because it rewards the slower BP that have less gear but is able to actually perform it. Since I said it's not free, you have to have pretty decent mechanical skills to be able to do that, especially if you want to jump in between them. You can have to change your viewport and make sure that you jump correctly and etc. and click the X one. So it might sound pretty easily, and if you watch my video, it's probably look very easily, but it's a little bit tricky, and I think it's rewarding. It looks good, and I think it should be in the game because it helps out the smaller ones. It's of course countered by other rangers who just shoot you when you jump in between the statues, or can just shoot you right through it from different angles, or other skilled BPs. I don't have a problem with other BPs doing it to me. I can just predict what other statues they go into. I just jump into there, just follow them. So it's not really. You're not coming immortal from people who can actually jump statues. Maybe you have an advantage against people that don't know how to jump statues, but I don't think that should be punished, at least. Okay, so it creates a little bit more depth there. The Arcanists are countered by Earth suits and spawning on Statue 4, basically. So Statue 4, they can't hide in there, so if you spawn there and Arcanist there, you can instantly attack them with your blade, with your Ranger, or Asil them with your BP. And the Earth suit is basically, if I have 20 Earth on my suit, that's 40% damage reduction. So basically almost a half. So if they do 200k Eva Storms, you're basically only receiving 100k. So you're basically going to tank it thanks to Remantis being spammable and Jar being spammable. So you're mostly going to survive if you are equipped. I assume I'm talking to people that are equipped, right? Because it's kind of a Siege-related video. So if you're not equipped and you don't have like at least 250 to 300k HP, you're probably going to have a rough time altogether. But yeah, I'm assuming that you're well equipped and be able to tank at least one of those 100k Eva Storms. Otherwise, you're on parkour level, which is a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I guess the thing that Arcanists are very popular right now is because Siege is overpopulated. There's a lot of people in there that's not equipped for it, so they're level 60 naked. They're only there for the Siege coin. The Siege coin doesn't require you to anything except for just participate and you get it for free, basically. And the problem is that only 8 people or 8 guilds are able to participate in Siege, so there's kind of a war already there. The first one to apply with max bid, yada yada. So that's a problem on its own. That should be focused. I think they should focus on fixing that issue first, because Tanuki is having a problem, but Mokomochi also have problems. But Arcanists are at the moment very popular due to that, basically because they're just killing noobs, basically. People that can't defend themselves. They have like 5k HP, 7k HP. They're not there to siege, they're just there to get the coins. And so they can rack up to over 100 points easily without any problems. I talked a little bit on the Discord. Apparently some people are having problems with one-hit rune Arcanist. You have a 2, so basically 50, if you do Evastorm 50 times, you have basically killed it, like got the one-hit rune effect once. So it's 2 in 100. So it's not going to be a common problem. Even if there's 3 Arcanists, that's 3 Evastorms. They still need to do you still need to stay there for a very long time before they're going to activate that one-hit rune on an average basis. Of course, sometimes you can be unlucky. But yeah, I don't think a one-hit rune Everstorm should be a problem, but I agree that right now Arcanist seems to be the best class for Siege because of the feeders. Let's call them feeders. I mean, they're sieges, of course, no disrespect, but they're not really there to siege. They're just there to die and get the coins, get it over with, basically. Do something better on their Saturday nights. But yeah, and I could agree on the only thing illegal I would agree on is if you intentionally put, like, as a guild, you can put 5 sieges in at once, basically. Even if you have a lineup of 10, only 5 are allowed to enter. Sometimes the game bugs when you're in last life, so they put in 6, 7 people. It's kind of funny, but usually it's only 5 people. So you can have 5 Arcanists, let's say, all geared together in one statue, and if they're all doing 200k Evastorms, which is like the maximum at the moment, realistically, only unless you're on Clockworks and everyone has matching gear, wink wink, you're only going to do 200k basically with all the CS. So that's, as I said, on an Earth suit, only 120k. So let's say there's 5 of them, they're unlikely, but yeah, then they're going to do 500k if they all time together. Yeah, that would be game breaking, but still, I could agree that could be bannable. If you intentionally put 4 Arcanists in one statue just to do this, it could be considered bad manners or bannable, and they could not ban them permanently, just for 1 week. I guess it's fair to do. I'm gonna have a video up here if I am able to download my own videos. I'm not allowed to do that anymore on YouTube because of the copyright issues. But yeah, if I have a video up, you're going to see me here just killing a bunch of Arcanists camping together in a statue with a blade. It's possible, and then at Siege, I don't even think I had that much HP. I only had like 200k, I think. So just so you see that it is possible, you just spam your Mantis. You don't have to spam Jar. You can just go in there, kill them. It shouldn't be too difficult. Have your holies ready if they sleep you. But that's a bit, at least my opinion on the statues, that it's good for BP, especially the slower one, those who have a little bit less gear, but they're a little bit more skilled. They're able to do that. People that are faster but not as skilled obviously can't catch, well, they can still catch them, but I guess if you can't jump statues, then, I don't know, learn to do it, I guess. I don't know, I don't mean to be rude, but you should be able to learn how to do that one way or another, I guess. But I think that's good for BPs. Arcanists, sure, they benefit from it, but they can be killed by Rangers, as I said. Some skilled Rangers out there, at least left actively playing, knows how to do it, and so they can counter it. So even if you have like 3 Rangers there, you can 3 Arcanists in a statue, you can still have a Ranger there on the side killing them. So, but I guess that's my opinion and the whole thing about statues. As I said, leave your thoughts on it in the comment section or on the Discord or on the forums. Just make sure that they know that you're interested. I know that a lot of active sieges right now are watching POVs from almost everyone, so I thought I'd reach out to at least my viewers. I don't know if Keenan or whatever will do the same, but I thought it was funny. Then we're going to talk about the stackable CS and the Asil nerf, or Asil nerf, or whatever you want to call it. And first off, I'm just gonna show you the 2 functions I have written out. Yes, it's math, so I know I'm scaring a lot of you away, but it's basically how you calculate approximately your base HP and your base Asil damage. The base HP one is basically approximation because I removed the, like, for example, if you have a what is called a balloon active, you get plus 200 HP. I have removed those. So when you see the base HP, that's your base HP. The HP one is your percent HP. So if you have a suit with 40% HP, then that means that you should put 40 there. And you should sum up all your stamina, sum up all your HP, sum up all your strength, MP, attack. PvP is basically how much PvP damage you have. So if we have 36 PvP damage on your knuckle, for whatever reason, you would put 36 there. Not that you should have 36 PvP on your knuckle, but yeah, if you do that. And the other ones are derivatives, and I think those are very interesting because that's how I engineered together with Magnus back in the days, and with Mo, basically Death Penalty, how we engineered Josper to hit the maximum amount of damage. So if you take the derivatives of this function based on strength or MP, you see how much the Asil damage would decrease if you add more stamina or add more strength, or add more MP, and you would see like how to balance out your combo. Because back in the days, there was a lot of people wondering how could Josper have so much speed and so much damage, and everyone was running around with like only MP awakes, and Josper would be the only one with like a full strength hat and etc. and strength and knuckle and shit. So they would like balance it out very well, and like a mixed blessed CS with strength and MP. And the same one, I took the derivatives for the partial derivatives for this HP one, so you can see how much. That's basically how much you would get for 1 stamina or 1% HP, and then you can scale it up. So if you increase with like 28 star or 10% HP or whatever, you can see how much you would actually increase. To get your base HP, you have to do a linear interpolation between 2 points. Some of you are able to do that. Some of you are like a little bit quinky, but I would say get naked, wink, and check your stamina or check your HP before and after you buff yourself. For example, if you're a BP or if you have a stamina ring around, just check and then take away all your percent HP. You shouldn't have anything if you're naked, if you don't have any CS activator or anything. You just scale that away and then you divide by, let's say, 40 stamina, and you see how much your base HP is. How much stamina you get how much HP you get per stamina, sorry. And why do I show you these ones and explain it to you in details? Is so you can play around with them and you can figure out how much damage on a BP would do. And the problem I found, because I'm not going to touch this subject too much about the Asil nerf since I'm a Asiler myself. No, I'm a BP player myself, and it would be very biased, right? Because I could, as I said before, I could talk to you infinitely about fucking the BP class. But what I'm trying to say here is that... Oh, sorry, someone is texting me here. Wait for a second. Okay, sorry. What I'm trying to say here is that you're going to create immortalities, because you can only have so much ASL damage and you can only have so much HP. So if you apply 30% reduction to your ASL and you put in like full strength BP with fire S knuckles and really good awakes, and then you have like a level 165 to 170 BP knight or whatever you have, and then like max out all the stackable CS as well, then they're not gonna die, and that's the issue. And some people might say, oh, you can team up and like have a fucking serve there, Holy Cross. No, that's not gonna work, because they're gonna spam holies unless they're slow, I guess, but most people are gonna be able to spam holies. Same with Romantis, they're spammable. It doesn't have any cooldown, that's the issue. It doesn't have any cooldown. So you're basically gonna create immortality unless someone uses a one-hit rune from like a Knuckle or a Bubbles with the Mentalist, I guess. I don't know. I don't think Siege would be fun if people started to become unkillable and then only one hit rune can change the day. And the problem I have with this one as well is that a lot of people are like, oh, we're nerfing BPs, right? Because all the other classes are going to work greater now, right? Like the Rangers and the Arcanists. But the problem here is that they're not actually benefiting from this, because a Ranger is still going to die afterwards. Even against a slower BP, let's say that, or like yes, either a slower BP or a BP that has gone full strength or whatever, because like the range block is a problem for Rangers. You should probably limit how much range block you can have. That could be a fairness if you want to have that. Arcanists are still always going to die. They can have like 600k HP, but as I said, a slower BP with like Fire Knuckle or whatever could still do that easily. even after the nerf. The only problem is that BPs with a lot of HP are now becoming immortals. Basically, they're not killable. You're unkillable, basically. And same goes for all the supporters. So it's only benefiting other BPs that can, basically become unkillable to other BPs and supporters. So basically a knight, let's say that, or a seraph that goes just pure HP. So on Tanuki, let's say Tanuki right now, if they were to apply this nerf today, then Josper, GXP Rage, Master Me, and Fira would become unkillable right now, and soon Maxwell, if he finishes gear, would also become unkillable, and we cannot die. And I don't think it's fun. I just don't think that's fun. I don't think it's fair either. I don't think it's fun. This nerf only benefits BPs, in my opinion. Or you can have you can have Master Me or whatever. He loves to sneaker me. He can do that, but as I said, I cannot die, so he just gonna stand next to me, and then my siege experience is a little bit bad because he's just gonna purr me like that, and it's not gonna look too fun, I guess. But I cannot really die, and I could probably try and run away from him if I spam enough holies. Sorry about that. But it's not super fun overall if they just create immortalities in Siege. But as I said, I think they should reconsider this nerf along with the stackable CS. So why did BPs become because everybody look at BP and they see there's 6k MP jewelry. What happened since? Because obviously back then no one could tank anything. I couldn't tank anything. I was furious myself. I had star equipment already with speed. I couldn't tank anyone. So what happened? Well, first off, you were able to level, so your base HP goes up. You can just change your base HP with those calculations or those equations there, and you can see that, whoa, your HP increases pretty drastically. And then you also have the stackable CS, so your HP goes fucking bananas, basically, with stackable CS. So, I have the Siege. If you think you can't tank BPs right now, then check the video where I used all stackable CS. I think I had over 1.3 million HP with 700 speed, or close to 700 speed. I lost 15 from the cloak. That's not perfect. That's far from perfect stamina equipment. I had 48% HP suit, but I was still far from perfect. And I still were able to tank pretty much everyone going after me. I had way over 1.3 million, so it wasn't really any issues. And so you can tank people with the stackable CS today. And as I said, if they add the 70% nerf, I'm not dying. No matter how you try, no matter if you go full strength or whatever, I'm not dying. That's the issue. I don't think that's fun. So I think currently what they could do is that if they make it so you can't stack CS anymore, like Binded and the N one for the N word in Flyff, kind of funny. But the N word on the Guild Siege coin shop, whatever. If you buy from there, you have those stackable ones. If they remove it so you can't stack anyone, then and then you add the 70% Asil nerf, then I guess you're gonna nerf BPs, but as I said, you're basically gonna get the same effect as today. So I think the benefits of that is that people don't have to stack as much CS, so new players can then buy from the coin shop basically CS and use it regularly. And because right now old players still have to carry the old CS with them and stack it with the new ones to get the best benefits, but new players don't really have the old CS, so they just get the new one and can't really stack it with the old one. So I think if they make it unstackable and apply this 70% Asil nerf, you will come back to what sort of effect we have right now, and I think that's fair. Right now it's fair. If you have a high HP BP, you can easily get 2 million HP. It's not that difficult, believe it or not. And if you have one with speed, you can easily get 1.2, 1.3 million without too much of a problem. And you can tank BPs without a problem. Well, some BPs are going to go full strength, but then they're weaker to other classes and Eva Storms and shit. So it kind of evens it out. But so the stackable CS versus the 70% Asil nerf, in my opinion, if you do the calculations, I want you to play around with these ones. That's why I show you them. So that you can see for yourself sort of what limit you can get. You can graph these if you want to, if you're really interested, and see for yourself what improvements you... Maybe you can see what improvements your own class or own character can do, but basically you can see this immortality issue that occurs. I'm just going to drink something. Sitting here talking to myself is kind of weird. I feel like a psychopath, but according to my friends, I am one, so not too much of a problem, I guess. So, since you're creating immortality, that's my biggest concern, and it only benefits BPs, really. BPs who don't want to die, and they don't want to die because they're like trying to avoid other sieges by jumping statues or being faster or anything like that. They're just gonna stand still and not gonna die. And there's nothing anyone can do. Well, of course you can do the Holy Cross, but spam holies, etc. So that's my thoughts and reactions to the 70% Asil nerf and the stackable CS and the statues. And I hope to hear about your opinion about it. And I think you should let the GMs, or at least the moderators, know about it. They need to know these inputs. And I think it's great from Klaig, if you listen so far, that you're actually asking the community for their opinion. I think it actually matters a lot to us. We feel like we're listened to. And sorry, I'm not actually native English. My English is pretty broken, but whatever. I think it does its job. And so what I would say now as an ending, I would recommend them to fix maybe other bugs. And one of the first one is a rest bug. So what happens is that you spawn into Siege and you're basically dead, so that someone has to rest you in order for you to actually do anything. On your screen, you're running around, but you can't activate anything and you can't attack anyone. It looks really awkward. So you have to wait for someone to rest you in order for it to work. Yeah, so if you relog it up, obviously it works if you have a big enough lineup. But as I said, the rest bug is really annoying and it ruins sieges for most people. Like, you're just dead there and can't do anything. Someone needs to rest you. Then there's also this guild coin issue where first of all, there's like two issues to this one. First of all, it's like only 8 people are allowed in, or 8 guilds are allowed in Siege, so they're fighting for the spots there already. And then 2, once they're entering, they're just there to die. They're not there to participate, they're just to get the guild coin so they can get the damn skeleton cloak. They're not there to do anything else. The guild Siege coin is a problem, because people take up space in Siege and are not participating, and they're there to die, so the Arcanists are fed. And the Arca seems to be very OP right now on some servers. Not really on Tanuki. Well, sometimes on Tanuki we'll lose to the other guilds farming these noobs, but I guess it's more of a problem on other servers, such as Mukumuchi and the French Flyff, but they're definitely not a problem for real siegers. Like, Arcanists in a statue, even if they group up to be 2 or 3 with 1-hit rune, isn't a problem for the actual siegers. It just benefits the like, if they're fed, basically. But yeah, then you're just playing against vagrants, really. So no actual changes or buffing of the game is actually gonna help that. So in my opinion, they should have some sort of challenge, like, in order for you to get the Siege coin, you have to be the top 3 guilds or top 4, or you have to score points or whatever. Like, they have to find something, because right now, even Tanuki, where we only have 3 guilds active, sometimes we can't even have that because only 2 make it through. And yes, that's the issue, because the rest are just taken up by other people who want the guild coins, not actually participating, no. And then, other that, they also want to talk about potentially buffing the YJ. So at the moment, the best YJ I've seen on Tanuki so far, full strength, can only do around 300k, I think. Sorry, I had to drink a little bit. Can only do around 300k. Yeah, it's not a very professional podcast, to be honest, but whatever. It's all I could do. But yeah, they can only do around 300k full strength with like Fire R or Fire S cards. And in my opinion, that should be way up to like 600, 800k. Maybe not over 1 million, but at least they should be able to do with stackable CS. I have the stackable CS in mind, that you should be able to hit like... They should able, if they're full strength, so they don't have much HP, and they have the Fire S cards, and they should be at least be doing like 600, 800k. Right? It seems more fair. Because right now they're only doing 300k, which with the stackable CS today, it's not even going to help. Like, if you have a full stat BP today, with the equipment has no extra stat, just damage, but you're full stat and you have speed, with all the stackable CS, you get over 500k HP, just so people understand. Like a geared BP in damage mode, the damage mode doesn't really give you any HP, just like all the stackable CS as your full stat and level 155 or 160, you're gonna reach over 500k HP with all the stackable CS right now. So that's what I keep in mind when I think about that. So That's why I think they should be able to do 600 or 800k. How they do that, I don't know. They have to check the formula. I don't have it on screen at the moment, but they have to check the formula and probably, multiplier or something so that people can actually do something about that. The mentalist class is also something discussed because it's not actually that useful anymore. The reason why it's not useful anymore is because the wands you're able to use the guardian wand on any class and thereby bypass the block thing. That was kind of the mentalist, like their edge in PvE, or player versus mob actually. So in the PVM area, they were really good because they could bypass all the blocking and basically do damage to Anku more consistently than a Blade who would just get blocked all the time, like me, by all the girls. Wink, wink. I'm just kidding. But now in reality, so the Mentalist class, I don't know how to fix that one. Maybe increase their damage. I don't know, for Siege, it's kind of difficult to do anything there. If you disable the wand for other classes, maybe more fair, but in reality, people already invested a lot of money into that, so I don't know. I know a lot of people that wouldn't be happy about that. They would probably agree that it's kind of fishy to use the Guardian wand like that, but removing it, I don't know, it's gonna piss off a lot of Blades and crack shooters for definitely that, but I don't know. I guess I don't really have an idea, a realistic idea at least, for how to fix the Mentalist class, but for the YJ, buff their damage in Siege. Like that fucking coin one hit thing they had should be buffed way up, like a multiplier of 2.5 or 2. Definitely, so that they're more viable in Siege. But that's my opinion of other fixes they can put on. So that's Resbug, the guild coin issue, and the YJs. And at the moment, the potential changes like the statues and the Asil nerfing and the stackable CS, none of this really helps make a funnier Siege or a more enjoyable Siege overall, in my opinion. Just to sum it up, statues, yes, helps see slower BPs, helps Arcanist, I guess, but they're not unkillable. They're just killing noobs, basically. At the moment, that's why they look so good. Asil nerfing only helps BPs. They're going to make them slower, I guess, if you enjoy that, but at the same time, no other class is going to benefit from that. And you're going to create immortality, so people are going to be unkillable. For example, knights of the BPs with star gear and whatnot. And if you don't believe me, as I said, go back in the video when I explain the functions for the HP and the function for the Asil ones, and put in your own numbers there and put in other numbers and check around, play around with it and see for yourself how far you get. And I took into account that noodles are not allowed when I used all the CS. I mean, I have actually a couple noodles, or good amount of noodles to be honest, on Tanuki, but I'm like the only one there. And some servers don't even have noodles, like Clockwork. So I'm taking all servers into account with that nerf. If they were to give out noodles, then I would say, yeah, you're fixing the immortality, sort of. It's like it's it's on the line if you're still going to be able to one-shot them as full strength with Fire as Knuckle, good gear, perfect blessings, perfect jewelry, not perfect awakes, of course. I'm not a Clockworks player, but I assume that you have still good awakes. But yeah, that's when I did my calculation. Play around with them and see for yourself if you think it's fair or not with the Asil nerf. As I said, it's probably going to only benefit those classes. But yeah, that's my video. And if you listen through it all, I'm kind of impressed because I'm just mumbling like a mumble rapper now in the end. But yeah, spread the video or spread the forum post and give him your opinion. And I hope that in the future Klaig keeps giving us these opportunities to discuss these changes before they happen, so that we know the consequences, if they're going to be good. If you agree with these changes, or I mean, if you disagree with what I have to say, and you think that they should nerf Asils and they should remove the statues, then let him know as well. I'm not here to just use a propaganda machine and be like, oh, you have to agree with what I say. No. Put your own opinion, definitely. And if you think I'm an idiot for whatever argument I had, you can also let me know that, of course, in the comment below. Don't use the insults. It's kind of useless. Be more civilized. But as I said, come up with some formulas, some facts, and show me that I'm wrong. And this idea with Siege doesn't take any skill. I'm not really gonna buy that one too much, but yeah, you can have that argument as well. But yeah, I don't know. Just spread the video, and I'll see you on next Siege. Bye.